Good day and welcome back to another Gekishin Squadra video. In this video we're going to talk about the patch notes that come with Season 2. Quite a distinct amount of patch notes. So these patch notes, honestly, quite extensive. Quite a few characters are getting some changes going into the Season 2. Now, they promised that they wouldn't make changes for the first couple of weeks of Season 2 as well. So we're stuck with kind of where the game is, obviously barring them finding anyone being super duper broken. So let's kind of go through. So Bojack is getting an update, a bit of an upgrade. I don't think this should be a surprise to anyone. His damage has gone up on his Galactic Buster skill 1 quite substantially, with pretty much a 160 damage increase almost across the board at each phase. Cosmic Bloom has had its structure changed, so the Energy Blast Explode increase has increased in time, but the time between the end of the attack and the ability to perform actions has decreased. So essentially, ultimately, it's a bit of a buff to the flow of that ability. Then Psycho Thread has had its increased effective movement speed down. This is very important because Psycho Thread was way too easy to get out of and didn't really serve a good purpose outside of that. So now it's far more usable. Android 17 has also seen some buffs. Barrier Ball has had its cooldown decreased. Android 17's banner has also had its cooldown decreased. The duration of the extra health has also been increased. This is really good because the barrier was already quite solid. This is a good change, make it a really powerful ability. And then super attack counter barrier, the duration of that extra health has also been upped. Not as much as the standard barrier, but still very helpful. Oob has seen some small improvements, his shooting chaser getting improved, and Deborah has seen some changes as well. His Demon's Domain passive, Petrification gauge buildup for enemies with an AoE has increased from 1 to 2 to 1 to 3 seconds. This is good because basically it allows him to have a bigger window to activate his Petrification. And his skill 2 Darkness Sphere, duration of no vanishing step applied to enemy heroes has been improved to be a 4 flat. This makes it stronger early game, a little bit weaker late game. Movement speed boost effect on self has also been increased suitably, again making him slightly better early game, slightly weaker late game. Deborah's early game was the problem though, unless we had like the skill 1 mastery and skill 1 power up. Evil Flame, movement speed down has been increased. They're getting a bit more comfortable with CC, so this is a perfectly fine change. In terms of Divine Combo cards, these are the ones that weren't used too much. Build up Steel Skin Guardian Angel. All three of these are getting a buff because they just weren't used. All defense up effect being increased, damage reduction being increased, and the damage reduction increase from Guardian Angel being the damage that you can take from other allies has also been increased. This should be a good pick-up potentially for tanks or support characters who are looking to tank up if they're struggling to survive in fights. Defensive step has also had a bit of a change, which is also pretty solid. Now in terms of the helpers, the attack buff got increased, all attack up effect. This made a lot of sense because quite frankly the attack buff just wasn't worth taking. You were much better off taking a focused fire ability like Nail. The push having its move increased also helps, it's just better to use to get away from people or to set up fights. And the defense buff also being upped is fine. A lot of the AoE buffs just weren't working. A lot of partners just weren't being taken. There were like 2 or 3 that were kind of super meta, and then that was it. In terms of nerfs, we get another nerf for Super Saiyan Goku, so this makes a lot of sense. Goku was still very strong, so getting nerfed makes sense. The Meteor Hammer was always going to be nerfed. It did way too much damage, especially post Kaioken. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, his Super Kamehameha has been decreased. Damage when used as a follow-up has also been slightly increased. This is just better for flattening his curve, but really it's the reduction in first hit damage that's quite significant. Instant Transmission Kamehameha, same thing. Way lower initial damage. and then damage when used as a follow-up, also flattened. Basically, this is just to help stop that huge surge that the Gokus were really experiencing. Both of them with some super high-powered initial hitting abilities that was just really kind of almost instant-leading characters early on and causing a lot of problems. In its transmission, destination moved further from target has been improved slightly. This isn't so much a nerf as I think it's just more a tactical aspect. Cooler final form, this was always going to happen. Cooler was way too tanky in his final form. Base HP decrease, armor decrease, Imperial Retaliation, immune to all effect duration from skills has been increased, which makes perfect sense. This guy was too strong, okay? He was way too strong. His armor and his HP being reduced, but his immune to all effect duration from skills increase kind of makes sense, balancing him out a little bit, making him a bit more flexible in the fights, but ultimately making him actually killable. His destruction rate cooldown has gone up, and his death stopper has also gone up. This is also more than fine. These abilities are too powerful for how often they could be spammed. Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla, small nerfs here, I don't think too crazy. The Storm Kick cooldown is a bit strange. Didn't feel like Storm Kick was too OP. I think in some circumstances the skill 1 divine card buff made it OP, but they've removed that, so I didn't think it was necessary. Blaze Dive, projectile speed decreased, so 36, 48, 72, 26, 32, 48, which is again, I don't think necessary. Energy release, cooldown increase, and increased effect duration of the skill. I think this is fine because the increased effect duration is almost double. So although the cooldown is nerfed, the duration is actually up double, which means you have more effective uptime on the skill than you had before. If you think of the difference, it was here 8.2 seconds, here it's 9.5, but as a percentage it's way lower. Frieza first form, showed him Zarbon. Shortened cooldown by cancelling has been increased. This makes sense. Zarbon's pretty strong right now. Not that he's OP, but it's pretty strong right now, so it makes sense that they're making it a little bit harder to just place him all over the place. Super Saiyan Gotenks, small nerf here. Cooldown on the Hyper Ultra combo. And the Son Goku Mini, the Wasabi Bomb nerf. Not too certain if it was needed. I really think he's a difficult character to play, but they felt it was necessary. In terms of the helpers, then we have Crash. Cooldown increased from 20 to 60 seconds. This is very strange, but I think it's more to do with the new Vegeta than anything else. Then we look at some adjustments. They say adjustments, but these just seem like nerfs or buffs. The Structo Disc skill stock adjusted. Super Saiyan Vegeta has had his HP adjusted to being lower but starting higher, which feels like both a nerf and a buff, but mainly a nerf because your max ceiling has been reduced. Gekishin burst system adjusted to correctly increase damage based on hero level and duration, so basically matches are going to be even faster late game. Rank points at the end of the season, the amount of rank points lost will be greatly increased this season. Additionally, the amount of rank points gained or lost in stand battles will be adjusted, so players' actual skills reflect more accurately and they'll match with players of similar skill. So this is just some matchmaking adjustments, which I think is needed. It does feel like the gap is too wide. And then penalties, they've changed some AFK penalties, and they've fixed a couple bugs, which honestly is what it is. Improvements, they've added a preset function so you can auto configure your divine combo cards in advance, which is really quite cool. You can do that by heading to player info, battle rules, divine combo card. We'll take a look. Battle tutorial completion reward. In addition to Super Saiyan Son Goku, you are now able to also get Vegeta and Piccolo. For players who have already completed them, you'll be distributed within approximately 1 week. If you get the additional heroes, they'll be converted into hero memories. Okay, I guess that's cool. And yeah, basically that is pretty much it. There's also been some small adjustments to your hero memories, and remove the daily limit of bonus missions so you can get more Zeni, technically. They don't mention anything else about Zeni, which is a bit of a shame for me. Ultimately, if you go to your player info and then you want to set up your configurations, you can go to presets here at the bottom, and you can start to preset your cards as you want to. So setting up all your different cards that you want, whether you want, for example, maybe you want to go for a snowball build. Maybe you then have like a certain build that you really like. So this can be your DPS snowball, etc., etc. So yeah, that's it from me. See you guys next time. Bye.